Welcome, guys, back to Naturally Lit. It is hashtag your favorite undiscovered superhero right here, coming to give you a little bit of goodness for the day or the evening, whenever this reaches you. I'm hoping that this day is filling you with positivity, hope, and love. Although other feelings of frustration, annoyance, heartbreak might be also taking over your day as well, but that's okay. So I just want to talk about perspective for a second because there's a lot of things that people... Okay, so example, we all speak the same language, let's say English, okay? Let's say we all speak English, which is not true. That's not the point of this topic. Say we all speak English. Just because you and I speak the same language doesn't mean that we understand each other. There's a lot of that going on right now, especially with the election of 2016, especially with the rise in hate crimes and people just feeling as if they can communicate their discomfort and lack of self-love to others through violence, verbal, emotional, and physical abuse, which is absolutely, in my book, is not cool at all. Respect is respect. Respect is one of the most beautiful and under-practiced principles of the human psyche and nature. It's quite disturbing, actually, how much we put into other people and how much we let other people affect our mind state in a negative way. Now, don't get me wrong. Mentors are an amazing thing. People that guide you are an amazing tools, amazing ways to make sure that you can understand your path in life. But I actually wanted to do videos like this a long time ago. I've been researching this and thinking about it a lot, and then I just said, fuck it. I don't care how it looks. I don't care how I look. It's not about what I look like. It's about the message. The beauty and the hair and all that is definitely a part of my personality, but what gets me going every single day is connecting with people and having connectivity and having communication about how things can get better. So, I'm here to tell you how to make friends. How you make friends. Rule number 1, never compromise your standards of what a friendship is. That's number 1. If you're friends with someone and loyalty is a big deal to you and they're not showing very loyal characteristics, then that is not your friend, right? If that person is not on the same wavelength that you are, the rhythm of life that you have chosen to move to, then you don't need that person in your life. Now, don't get me wrong. Every person does have a place, whether it be just for a millisecond or a minute. They have something to teach you. Even if it's an interaction with someone and you're working in customer service and that person is being irate or combative or just being fucking crazy. Maybe that person's there to teach you how to be kinder to people, or maybe to put yourself in their shoes. Even though they're acting out, it's not necessarily because they want to. Maybe they're just feeling some kind of emotional block that they can't get out any other way, and you happen to be the fucking bullet, what is it called? Target of their torpedo. Feel me? So it's not excusing anyone's behavior, because some people can be very irrational. They can be very outrageous. You know, some people can go from yelling at you to shooting you because they don't understand how to communicate their own emotions, which at the end of the day, it's probably all going to come down to whether you're heavily fucking with yourself or if you're not. If you're a big fan of yourself, you don't have to prove to anyone. You don't even have to repeat or, you know, basically try to get someone to like you with the things that you do. People are going to flock to you when you stand in your truth. People are going to flock to you when you stand in your truth. I'm a very social person. I love people. They're very interesting to me. It's definitely something that I pay attention to. I'm a Scorpio. I pay attention to a lot of details. Okay, moving on. Rule number 2. Crisis shows character. Y'all gotta pay attention, okay? Let me give you an example. I was working one day, and me and this group of people were doing a project, and there came a third party, someone I didn't know, a child, and asked me for help for their mother because they thought that person, their mother, was in pain. My instinct, just because that's the kind of person I am, is to immediately help. I don't ask questions. It's because I've almost died 3 times in my life. I've been in really crazy accidents. I'm grateful to be here, that I don't take cries for help very lightly. I'm not just like, oh, you can get over it, you stubbed your toe, or I don't care if you stubbed your toe, I don't care if you got a splinter, if you feel like you need to go to the hospital, we're going to the hospital. That's just how I feel about it, because I don't know your body like you do. Feel me? So I did something under that crisis where I'm going to go help this person out. There were other people that were with me that basically ignored the situation and just told me, why don't you call an ambulance, or, well, an ambulance is going to take 40 minutes to get here. This person is a mother. They have a young child. The hospital is 8 minutes away. I'm sure we can make that happen. So at the end of the day, that really showed me what people do in crisis situations. At the end of, remember that you're always going to need help from a stranger. That stranger, you don't want them to be a dick. So just make sure that you pay attention to those aspects of your friendships. And then you put people in their place, you put them in pockets. You can't have dinner with everyone. You can't vacation with everyone. You can't party with everyone. You can't take everyone to your family events. You can't take everyone to a gallery. You can't take everyone to a dive bar. Know where your friends and what purpose they fulfill in your life. And there is nothing wrong with having pockets for people, ever. Because one person to do every single thing in your life is kind of overwhelming for that person, and it almost doesn't even make sense, because then you're just tapping that person out. And you need different perspectives anyway. So that's number 2. Crisis shows character, guys. Crisis shows character. Just pay attention. Pay attention. Number 3, love yourself. It's awesome to connect with people, and it's amazing to bounce ideas off of people, but you don't need their validation for the way that you operate and move in your life. Your friends don't need to understand your every move. Neither does your family. Neither does your loved one, your partner, whoever you're with. They don't need to understand every single move you make. They don't need to understand how you make the move. It is your life. So you have absolute control over the situation. And I'm not saying total control, because of course fate, destiny, all those things come in, manifestation, things that you think come true, all that. But I'm just saying that you don't need to explain to everybody why you do certain things. I find myself doing that often with people that I love. But I don't need to explain to you why I'm feeling a certain way, or why I want to make a certain move, or why I want to quit a job, or why I want to change my career, or why I want to work with this person and I don't want to work with that person. It's not something for you to understand, because it's my reality and my perspective. That being said, number 4, remember, everybody comes with different perspectives. So you get to choose your friends. For real. You get to choose your friends, and that is such a luxury. And no, you're going to come across maybe 100 people that are just shitty ass people for you. Like, good for other people, but not necessarily in your lane. Not saying one is above the other one, but some people like to talk about Instagram. Some people like to talk about the open consciousness. Like, some people like to talk about science. Some people like to talk about politics. You just have to figure out what kind of communication relationship you want to establish with your friends. So remember, perspective is always different. Perspective is a hell of a drug. Everyone's addicted to their own perspective, because the only reality that matters is your own, because that's the only one that you're living in day to day, every single day, 24, 365, 7. So you cannot always expect your friends to understand where you are coming from, or you cannot always expect to understand where your friends are coming from. But what you can do is number 5, which is listen. Listen. People are so quick to want that person to be done with their statement so that they can retort back, reply back, or say something back, instead of actually listening. And also knowing that when somebody's putting an idea out, you're automatically syncing your perspective and your reality to it with the experiences that you've experienced, or maybe somebody close to you, and you take their experiences and be like, if you go into a store and you get a cereal and somebody doesn't like it in your family, well, I heard that cereal wasn't good. Well, you would never know because you never tried the cereal. So that's the thing about perspective. Don't knock it till you try it. And also remember that people are married to their reality, and you can't take them out of that. Regardless of what you say, all you can do is listen and then follow what your friend says. Either they want advice or they don't want advice, or they just want you to listen to what they have to say, you know? But don't sugarcoat it either. Don't make it seem like their behavior is okay. If their behavior is harmful to themselves or somebody else, yes, call them out. But number 6, don't judge them. That is the thing that I find the most annoying with friends. Don't put me on a pedestal. Don't act like I cannot make mistakes. Don't act like I'm not growing and learning like you are every single day. Perhaps my consciousness or the way that I present myself makes it seem to you in your life that I should know better or I should move better in the world or more fluid. No, that's absolutely not the truth. My perspective and my reality is different from yours, absolutely, but I'm still figuring it out, right? I'm still a product of my environment. I am still a product of all the influences around me while I'm trying to drown out all the other voices to hear my voice. I might hear my voice a little bit more clear than you or some other people, or there might be some people that hear their voice more clear than mine, but that doesn't mean that you need to judge me on that. There's a difference between taking care of your friends and criticizing your friends. You take care of your friends by understanding they have a perspective, and understanding how to listen, learning how to listen, and then not judging them for the decisions they make. Because that's what a real friend does, right? At least it is in my opinion. So, number 7, be honest. This is such a difficult concept for people to do. Honesty, let me say this. Every behavior that we know is learned, and anything can be unlearned. If you are stopping being honest because you don't want to hurt your friend's feelings, that's a load of bullshit. It's more to protect yourself from the repercussions that might come from that friend who's not ready to hear the truth. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to lie to you. That's not what I do as a friend. If you ask me, let's say the situation is, we sit down, you tell me about something that's going on in your life, and then you ask me my perspective. After I've listened to you and not judged you, and then I come and I let you know what I think about the situation, don't be upset over my commentary on the situation because you asked for it, right? Because I'm not here to lie to you about it. If you want somebody to lie to you about life, then you get yourself a friend that fits in that pocket, that lies about all the shit that they do or whatever it is. Or just tell you it's okay for you to do X, Y, and Z when they know it's not okay for you to do that or it's affecting your everyday life. So be honest because that's what you owe your friend. Number 8, don't run away from conflict. People are so quick to dismiss, diminish, and cut somebody off because of opposing views. But that's what makes a friendship strong. We don't always have to agree on everything to be friends. We don't always have to have a meek conversation to be cool. Like, it's okay to have opposing views. It's okay to have conflict in friendships. It's okay to have confrontation because we're still getting to know each other. So how can you expect me to be the friend that you really need in all situations if we've never had any conflict? Now, I'm not saying it's an all-out crazy argument, we punching each other, and I don't believe in hitting each other unless it's self-defense. You know, you guys self-defend yourself if somebody's all up in your space, but I don't believe in calling names. I don't believe in spitting on people. I don't believe in all that kind of crazy behavior that is absolutely childish to me. But I feel like when I'm saying these things, people should know them, but they really don't. So that's why I'm making this video, is because it would seem common sense, but we know most people don't have common sense anyway. So at the end of the day, You already get the point of what I'm trying to say. Let's see, number 9. Number 9. What would I make number 9? Number 9 is, I'm still not over the confrontation thing, guys. It's okay to have conflict. It's okay to disagree. It's not a big deal. And if you're going to run away at a first disagreement or not communicate how you feel, that's what it is. Number 9 is, I'm not a mind reader. You have to check in with your emotions. People don't check in enough with how they're feeling. I'd rather you tell me, you know what, I just feel really shitty today and I don't feel like talking, or I feel like I'm having an attitude today, or I'm super happy. I feel like everything is great today. Like, there's no problem with checking in, because I cannot read your mind. As many years as I've known you, and people will say, I know exactly what that person's thinking. Yeah, you think you know exactly what that person's thinking, and you might be 80% right, but there's always a part that you don't know where that is coming from, because the foundation of who we are is the discovery we make throughout life. It's that journey. Like, how did I become the person that I am today? How did I learn to communicate this way? How did I learn to forge my friendships, my relationships, my business relationships? It's all because of the foundation of when I was a baby, a kid, a toddler, and learning those things through those early stages of life that helped me formulate who I am today. So at the end of the day, we have mouths. They're used for talking and communicating feelings. Stop expecting people to know what you... It's like, you know, when you're fighting with your boo, like, what's wrong? Nothing. Well, okay, if nothing's wrong, then I'm not going to ask you anymore. Why? Because I'm not a mind reader, and I don't need to be sitting here the entire time guessing what you're feeling. Either you're going to tell me or you're not. And if you're not going to tell me now, then don't bring it up 3 months from now, because that's childish and that doesn't make any sense at all. Address the situation that makes you uncomfortable in the moment. Maybe in 10 minutes or maybe the next day, but not 3, 6, 7 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years. Then you're just holding on to shit, and you're being spiteful at that point. You're not even helping the relationship grow. And number 10, how to make friends. Let them come to you. Let them come to you. The universe will give you who you need when you need them in your life. And don't ignore those signs. And also pay attention to what people are doing, how they're talking, the way that they treat other people. Because if they can do that to other people, they damn sure could do that to you. So make sure that you pay attention to what people are doing. And just be open to letting the friendship evolve and get bigger and better each passing moment. A 20-year friendship is not made in a weekend at Coachella. It's just not. You can have that experience with somebody in a very crazy situation and still be cool with one another, but could you live with that person every day? Could you go on vacation with them? Could you introduce them to your family? There's a lot of different elements that come into it. So just be flexible when you're being a friend. Be open-minded. Don't think that you can just telepathically communicate with your friend, because that's just not possible. Treat people how you want to be treated. If you want to be treated like an asshole, then treat people like an asshole. If you want to be treated like an open-minded, communicative, growing being, then do that with other people. But don't expect everyone to be on your level or go at the same rhythm in life as you. So that's my tips on how to get friends. Oh, and remember, you really don't need that many. You need like 2, 3 good friends, handful at the most. Because can't nobody have 20 best friends. That's ridiculous. That don't even make any sense. And don't give out your energy to everybody else. Be careful what you wish for. This is Naturally Lit. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for listening. Everything that can be learned can be unlearned. And reality cannot be told. It has to be realized. The truth cannot be told. It has to be realized. And with that, ciao.